2014 was a notorious year for gaming, as there were a lot of bad games, and it seems like every year since we get at least one big disappointing or broken game. 2015 gave us Evolve, 2016 brought us No Man's Sky, and it might be too early to say, but 2017's most disappointing game could be Mass Effect Andromeda. Whether you like Mass Effect Andromeda or not, you have to admit that the game is nothing compared to the original trilogy. The story is weak, the gameplay is bland, it's buggy, and oh yes, those facial animations. It's a common joke amongst gamers that game developers and publishers will push out games before they are finished, and then they'll say they'll fix it later with a patch. But people have started to become a little wiser when it comes to these shady actions. Assassin's Creed Unity is a good example. That game was incredibly broken and rushed out to meet the yearly Assassin's Creed demand. And as a result of this, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is actually a really good game, underperformed and the series went on a little bit of a hiatus. Or maybe we can talk about No Man's Sky. There was an incredible amount of hype for this game before it was released, and whilst I don't see why it was, nor did I ever, it still disappointed the customers when it was released, with many of the promised features missing on launch, or they just aren't going to be added in at all. These are just two examples of games being broken or disappointing. You could argue that developers can't really help whether a game is going to be disappointing to fans or not, and I do agree with this in some respects. Sometimes people expect way too much out of something, and certain things just aren't possible to pull off. But in the case of Mass Effect Andromeda, they already had the groundwork for a Mass Effect game. They made 3 games before this one. People know what they want out of Mass Effect, what to expect, and what steps are a necessary progression. So how could they fuck it up? It just comes back to these publishers pushing out games before they're ready. If a game is disappointing because it's unpolished, buggy, and just downright broken, then people have every right to feel let down. I feel like if more time was given to BioWare, then Andromeda might be a better game than what it was. I still don't think it would be amazing because I feel like a lot of the problems come down to the writing and the tedious gameplay. But at least it would have been ironed out a little more and maybe we wouldn't see things like this.
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
There is a reason that Nintendo and PlayStation first-party games have been great for quite some time now. And that is because both companies realize it takes time to create a great game. And if you make a great game, people will want to put more money into it. Maybe for DLC or even eventual sequels. I know it might be hard for these big game publishers to realize, but people like good quality products. Give them good quality products and they'll stay loyal to you and they'll be happy to spend more money on the things that you are selling. It doesn't take a marketing genius to work all of this out. And I get it. Things have deadlines. Money needs to be made so you can spend money to make more money. Teams can't work on games forever and there needs to come a point where a game needs to be put out there. But don't they look at some of these games and realize what they're offering will come back and bite them in the ass? And to go back to Mass Effect Andromeda, this is BioWare and Mass Effect we're talking about. A team and a game franchise that are highly respected amongst gamers. You can't rush something out like this, and I guarantee you that the eventual sequel will not pull in impressive numbers. You burn gamers and fans, and they will show their displeasure and disappointment by voting with their wallets and not buying your games. Because that's what it comes back to. We shouldn't have to sit back and enjoy everything that these developers and publishers throw at us. We have to make our opinions heard, so that they know that releasing these half-assed broken games is not acceptable. I know it's Mass Effect and people want to love Andromeda because it's now part of the legendary series, but it's just not very good. And even if you love the gameplay and story, you have to admit the glitches and bugs are out of hand. You can go ahead and you can like Mass Effect Andromeda if you really do enjoy it. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't like, but we also shouldn't sit back and accept a game in this state because it's from a well-respected franchise. I feel like too many reviewers are giving the game a free pass. I know that people have mentioned the face animations and glitches, but I feel like that point has been run into the ground now. The game has many more issues than just these problems. It's tedious, boring, the story is poor, a lot of the characters are boring, and I just don't feel any incentive to play the game. If you disagree with these points I made, then that is fine, you are welcome to. But people shouldn't feel discouraged about making their opinions heard. I've heard people say that they don't want to speak up about this game because they fear what the angry fans will say, and that's just wrong. We need to vote with our wallets, so these developers and publishers know they can't get away with rushing games out. If you want something to be better, then you have to take action and make it happen. Also, just to wrap this up, I would like to say that I don't hate Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't think it's great or horrible, it's just fine. Don't listen to the people that are giving it anything lower than a 4 or a 5. I would personally say that even a 4 is way too low. A 5 is a bit more reasonable, but I would still leave this game a 6 out of 10. I understand that some hardcore fans are upset about the game and it has let them down, but think about it. This game does not deserve a 1 or a 0. That's just stupid and judged with blind rage. But then again, who takes user reviews seriously anyway? So thanks for watching everyone. Remember to let me know your opinions on Mass Effect Andromeda in the comment section below. Let me know whether you agree or you disagree with the points that I've made. Remember to like this video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more, stay badass, and peace out.